Alright, welcome to another live Twitch stream where I'll be doing some re-engineering in Ableton. Tonight's song is a classic by a band called Ultravox. It's a song called We Came to Dance, written by all four members of Ultravox, I guess Ultravox Mark II, Warren Can, Chris Cross, Billy Curry and Midure. So nice electronic song, nice little challenge to take on this one. But I've just noticed when I just did a bit of research on the history of the song, it was produced by none other than George Martin. It's George, isn't it? Yeah. Which, yeah, that's quite a level to aspire to. Okay. Very well known and superb producer. Anyway, so I've done my best to try and live up to that. So let me jump straight into it. Got Ableton Live running here as I always do, and let me take you through some of the instruments I used on this. So obviously the key instrument in this is the synthesizer, and probably, more specifically, the Arp Odyssey. So I'm using GeForce's Oddity 2, which is a plugin, a VST plugin of the Arp Odyssey. It's good. It's a good instrument, and it has some amazing sounds that are very close, I guess, to the original sounds of the Odyssey. So really nice synth. Someone pinged me earlier on Facebook and suggested using a PPG, which is probably a good idea because I like to try and go back and find, what synthesizers were they using originally. But I've kind of pushed it by using a bit of Serum as well, which is a more modern, Serum is a more modern instrument, more modern VST, and that does give me, it always gives me that nice, a sort of humanous sound from the PolyMoog. That's really what I'm trying to get. It's a sound that's used a lot by Newman, Ultravox, Visage, a lot of those bands that relied on the sounds from those kind of instruments, the PolyMoog, the Arp Odyssey. Also used a MiniMoog for some of those sounds as well. And then used a combination of different Odysseys, different layers of Odysseys, a bit of piano, of course, and then just a bit of Linn Drum with a couple of sounds which I've adjusted on there as well. So I normally start with a drum, so why not? Let's just jump into that and have a look at what's on the drums. So just a standard drum kit. Don't think there was anything really that special, but there was something that when I listened to the song, I heard something in the bass, a very clunky sound that came off the bass. And I got the feeling that they were doing that with some sort of percussion instrument. So what did I use here? Here we go. No, that's for the first sound. There was another instrument. What was it? It sounded a bit like a is it clastanet? Yeah, clastanet. Is that it? But a very clicky sound. I don't know. Anyway, you might hear that come in a little bit later in the song. All right. So let's get onto the hook. So the hook, I tried various sounds. I mean, the first sound I tried for the hook, which there was more going on in that sound, and then I played around with the Odyssey and tried different sounds, but eventually came up with what I think is the right sound on the Odyssey, which is actually a preset. It's not coming up there on the preset name, but and that has more of sort of a mixture of two sounds. One is a nice strings with a bit of reverb on it, and another one is kind of that haunting vibrato type of sound that's going on in there. And there was a preset that I found. I'm digging around on the presets, which takes a while, but the preset was called "Are We Dancing?" So I figured that must be maybe Billy Currie, because I know he was involved in some of the engineering on this VST, or at least he maybe he made up some sounds, I don't know, but that was one sound that I used. But I layered them, so you get that kind of effect. In fact, I layered them, yeah, I'm back down to 2 layers. Originally I had a bit more than 2 layers. So that gives, you know, that gives me that hook that travels throughout the song, which is this. Let me play that back. That's of course what's used in the intro. A couple of other things that use in the intro are the drum sounds, which it's just a bass drum. Let me play that. And then a bass synth, which you hear as a click off there. So I'm just using an Oddity or Arp Odyssey there and opening the filter up, and bringing the volume of the bass up as well. So I'm doing 2 things really. One is opening that frequency, the VCF filter, opening it up, and the other is just to boost the volume. And then finally there's a kind of nice strings part which goes throughout the whole song, which is always a challenge, because they did some creative stuff with the strings on this. And then when I throw all of that together, we get this. Goes back to that a bit later as well. So then we're straight into the song. Now the really tricky part on this, apart from getting some of the chords going, was the bass line. So I actually think I used 3 different bass sounds here. One is the Odyssey, then I used 2 sounds off the MiniMoog, trying to get that real clunk that he got, or Billy Currie I guess got, you know, on that bass sound. So let me run through some of those bass sounds there. Yeah, not sure about one of the sounds going on there, the third bass. There's that sort of initial Odyssey bass. Here's this one. And I think that's called Ultravox bass or something as a preset on the Odyssey, or the Oddity. And then the mini bass, which is, sorry, that's actually a sub. And feels like I've got a bit of pitch bend on that as well, or a bit of glide. shouldn't really be there, but anyway. And then the other bass sound, I don't know what I did here. It doesn't sound like the preset I originally used. Whoa. No, there's something going on there. I've probably messed that. Oh, Ultravox bass. You know what, there's a bit of attack on that. Alright, so those are the basses. But then, you know, when I played the bass, I also heard that clicky sound, which again, you know, I thought was like a classinet or something. So I used that drum track there. Which is really just following the bass line. Probably need to tidy that up a little bit. Okay. So the formula of the song, we came to dance. There's a intro bit, and there's a build up more of the intro part. Then there's the first verse, and then into the chorus. Verse again, chorus. And then there's a couple of bridges, and it's the final bridge which really gets me, because there's some really unusual chords going on there. I managed to figure out, I think, what the lead is doing, but I've got to give that a bit of work. Yeah, let's see if we can. Yeah, there's a bridge here as well that needs that little bit of work. I'll play that quickly. Yeah, so that's the bit I struggled on, and the bit I struggled with was, I guess, the chords. And this is a wild guess on the chords, but I know they're wrong, and I know I'm going to go back and fix them. But let's play the chords and the sort of string sound together, and then see how we go. Yeah, something not 100% right with that, but it's a good thing about Ableton. You can always go back and patch things and fix things up. Second verse, there was also a synth. I probably need to fix that as well. That's this bit here that comes in on the second verse. I'm going to drop the volume on that third Moog bass sound there's just something not quite right with that. I don't know what I did there, but I'll have to go back in and fix that as well. Anyway, that's about it. That's kind of the deconstruction. I'll run through the whole tune. Oh, I've got the piano parts, a couple of nice piano parts as well, but they're just, the piano bit is just sort of a... Ultravox used a lot of reverb on their piano as well, which gives it that nice haunting sort of melody sound coming through. So I've used a bit of that. Probably need to play around with the pianos a bit. So for that I used Arturia's Piano V too. So yeah, that's the tune, and I'm going to go and play the whole tune now. I've also recorded this, so you got a better quality if you want to listen to it. It's also on my channel. But let me step through that for you right now. I'll turn off my microphone and my voice. If I can find it. Where is it? There it is. Off. Right, that was it. I think I figured out what was going on the bass. I think. What the heck? Go back to that. Yeah, maybe not. Alright, we'll get back to that. Alright, that's it. Weekend Stance by Ultravox. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, leave comments, tell me what I'm doing wrong. It's always good to learn. Got some other stuff coming up by Ultravox, working on the voice. Not my voice, the song, the voice. Working on my voice wouldn't do very much. But some other stuff on the channel as well. Bit of Talk, Prefab Sprout, Tears for Fears, Visage, Newman. Be doing some Depeche Mode at some point as well. So really with the intention of just showing how you can recreate these things using Ableton, using plugins, using virtual synthesizers. I still have the proper synthesizers there in case you want to wires together there. That's a speaker going nuts. Shouldn't have done that. But anyway, yeah. So hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Come back.